Hi students, Social Science lesson number 1, Two Big States. In the previous video, we learned how Harshvardhan extended his kingdom from North India till the river Narmada and to the east till Bengal. Today, we will learn about Harshvardhan's reign and administration. Harshvardhan personally supervised the administration of his state by traveling extensively to different parts of his empire. He divided his daily routine into three parts. The first for administrative purposes, while the other two parts were devoted to public welfare and religious activities. He was so diligent in carrying out his administrative responsibility that at times he even forgot to have his meal. Extensively means covering a large part, and diligent means hard work. Students, Harshvardhan's empire reminded many of the great Gupta empire, as his administration was similar to that of the administration of the Gupta empire. There was no slavery in his empire, and people were free to lead their life according to their wish. So, here you can see that Harshvardhan himself supervised the full administration from moving from one part to the other part, and he was so much devoted towards his work that even he sometimes used to forget his meal. Handwriting of Harshvardhana. This down part you can see written in Sanskrit. Things to know. To help him in the administration, Harshvardhan had commander-in-chief of the army Pratihara or Dwarpal, Sandhi Vigrahaka, foreign minister, Rajdoot ambassador, Parajya Mantri or Mahadandanayaka, chief justice, and Akshar Patalika, registrar. Children, you read this, you learn by heart this because this is often asked in the exam as a fill in the blanks or true or false or match the following. Think. Name the administrative officers in charge of the administration of your district or taluka currently. So, who is the administrative officers in our district? First is collector, the DM, district magistrate, deputy collector or SDM, the sub district magistrate, municipal commissioner, mamlatdar, inspector general of police, that is IGP, and superintendent of police, IPS. They are the administrative in charge. Imprints left by Harshvardhan. So during the rule of Harshvardhan, he has left a lot of imprints, means mark. Let us understand what it is. They built many houses, wells, step wells, lakes, mattas and viharas, and also prohibited animal slaughter. Every year he organized a Buddhist religious meet, and every 5 years he would organize a huge religious congregation at Prayag. First line it is understood, children, that Harshvardhan took good care of the poor by building rest houses that provided all the amenities required. It is also believed that Harshvardhan was described as a noble emperor who made sure all his subjects stayed happy. Slaughter. The meaning of slaughter means to kill the animal. And every year he organized a Buddhist religious meet, and every 5 years he would organize a huge religious congregation. Congregation means gathering at Prayag. Children, according to historical sources, Harshvardhana's ancestors means grandfather, grandfathers, ancestors were sun worshippers. But Harshvardhana was a Shaivite. Shaivite, he was an ardent devotee of Lord Shiva. Records suggest that his sister Rajeshri had converted to Buddhism, and that encouraged King Harshvardhana to support and even propagate the religion. He got several Buddhist stupa constructed. So after his sister joined Buddhism, he also got interested to that religion. So every 5 years he would organize a religious congregation at Prayag. There he would donate generously till his entire treasury was emptied, and would even give away the ornaments he would be wearing at that time. So he was so much devoted that he used to give his full treasure. He used to complete empty his treasures. The great Sanskrit poet and writer Bhanbhat is caught his famous works Harshcharit. Children, this Harshcharit book, in this book you can get all the details about the Harshvardhan's life, and Kadambari are famous even today. We come to know about many important aspects of King Harshvardhana's reign from Harshcharita. King Harsha himself was a writer and wrote three plays, Nagananda, Ratnavali and Priyadarshika. And Nagananda, children, it's a book dedicated to Lord Shiva's consort Parvati. Emperor Harshvardhan's empire, Nalanda University. Short description about Nalanda University. Nalanda University was actually built by Kumar Gupta, who belonged to the Gupta dynasty. Nalanda, here Nalan means lotus and the means give. Means lotus is a symbol of a knowledge. This university is made to give the knowledge. Several subjects were taught in this university. It was one of the best university in the Central Asia. Students across the world studied in this university. To get admission in the Nalanda University, it was very tough. Out of 100 students, only 20 students could clear the entrance exam. And those who cleared the exam, they were provided with free education. University children, there is also one more fact in that university had 10,000 students and 2,000 teachers to train the students in different subjects. It is believed that most of the teachers were Buddhist monk, as Buddhism was also the part of curriculum. So this is the short description about Nalanda University. It was in the province of Bihar today, somewhere near to Patna. In the modern day, it is somewhere near to Patna. King Harsha extended all possible assistance to Acharya Shilbhadra and made Nalanda into a world famous university. So he helped Acharya Shilbhadra to make Nalanda the most famous university. The university had access. Access means the way to the revenues of 100 villages given to them by King Harsha for its upkeep and maintenance. It is understood, children, because the university is so huge and 10,000 students are studying, so it need money for that. So from 100 villages, whatever money is revenue is collected, that was given to the Nalanda University. Renowned chemist Acharya Nagarjuna, who proved that iron, arsenic and mercury ash could be used as medicine, also belonged to the Nalanda University. So the great chemist Acharya Nagarjuna, he was also a part of the Nalanda, or student of the Nalanda University. Things to know. Students had to clear an entrance test, as I told you in the previous slide. For admission into Nalanda University, free education, lodging and boarding were provided in Nalanda University. There was a huge library, children. It was known as Dharma Gunj. Dharma Gunj means mountain of knowledge. Why was free education provided at Nalanda University? Try, children. Now, the life of the people. Information of the reign of King Harsha is available from the writings of Chinese traveler Hu Sang. Towns and villages of the time were fortified. Fortified means protected, and had huge gateways at the entrance. The society was divided into four groups. They are Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras. Brahmins, in that Brahmin category, priests, scholars and the teachers. Kshatriyas category, rulers, warriors and the administrators. Vaishyas category, agriculturists and merchants, those who were doing business. And Shudras, they were the laborers and the service providers. The society was divided into four groups, while the Parda system and the intercaste marriages were not prevalent. Prevalent means not common at that time. The custom of sati, child marriage, and polygamy. Polygamy means The custom of having more than one wife or husband at the same time had started by them. The local diet means the local food, consisted of milk and milk products, wheat, rice, fruits, and vegetables. They wore clean, simple white clothes. Men wore dhotis and women wore saris. Their ornaments were rings, bangles, bracelets, necklaces were made from flowers. Chess and games of dice were popular means of entertainment. Acrobats, gymnastic. If you have seen people in the olden days, we have seen that two bamboo sticks were tied on the two sides, and on the two bamboo sticks they used to tie a string on that, and on that string the people used to walk or move the cycle on that thing. That is called as acrobats. And conjurers means magicians wandered from village to village to entertain the people. So how they used to live, the people during that time, what work, what occupation they had? Farming and animal husbandry were the main occupation of the people. Land revenue was one-sixth of the production, so they have to pay the land tax. Whatever production they had, they have to give one-sixth of that part. Internal and international trade was carried out by Vaishyas, as I told you, the category. A highway from Patliputra to Bhrugu Kutch port was built by the state for trade and transportation of goods. Gold and silver coins were used for commercial transactions. So the currency which they used were gold and silver coins. Ornaments, statues, ivory, and carved wooden pieces were exported. The export of different materials from India increased her prosperity. During the reign of King Harsha, India had good business relation with Rome, which led to the inflow of gold in India. People followed Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism, but were tolerant towards other religions also. So other religions were also accepted. Meaning, this is the picture of Hu Sang. This is the map where he traveled across the country. Hu Sang, let us understand. The Chinese traveler Hu Sang visited India during Harsha's reign and studies Buddhism at Nalanda for 5 years. Husang stayed in India for 15 years and visited different places. He has described the social, political, and religious condition of that time. In 645, he returned to China via Central Asia and took with him many books, relics, and statues. During his stay, he attended the 6th Buddhist religious congregation